everyone, welcome to your Gemini next 3 months reading for August 2025. When we connected last, there was a focus on making a change, so making a change in your habits or lifestyle to focus in on improved health, wealth, abundance, sort of this green area here. But we'll see where the charms fall for the next 3 months coming ahead. And I'm doing a little bit different. I do have 2 tarot decks here that are blended. We'll be shuffling them up, cutting them, and then we'll use one of the 2 piles to draw cards from throughout the reading. So if you want to skip ahead just to the messages, timestamps are below for everyone. Otherwise, let's get into the charms. What is the focus, the story for Gemini for these next 3 months? September, October, November. Felt some movement over here, so okay. We'll just go around. Oop, finger twitch up here. Clearing out a lot to get whatever they want on the emotions here. There we go. Okay. Nice big charm there for you. Okay, health matters. Same kind of deal. In the middle. Okay. Okay, that's the one they want. Alright, so I apologize. Bear with me. As I have to do the cleanup here. This is why I always offer to skip ahead, but this also gives me a chance to tune in to sort of the kickoff here to the story. Nice abundance charms here. These all kind of fill in the clearing to get the charm. Okay, and now we just need to see what they want down here. Nope, I apologize. Okay. I think that's the first time on camera, like a general reading where I had to bring the charm back. So let's shuffle the decks, do the cut, and then we'll get into the reading. Let's see what is up for Gemini's next 3 months. Okay, so we'll just do a cut. I think they want this deck in front, so we'll just spread them out, and we'll just draw from these throughout the reading. Okay, so just take the quick timestamp here, and then we'll get into it. Okay, I'm going to start with grabbing 1 or 2 cards up here, just to look back at August, see what maybe you're bringing forward here from August into the next 3 months. This one here is kind of waving its little hand. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely bringing forward sort of this heavy weight that's on the mind, on the heart here. To draw me into the weight of his helmet, right? On the head, but the red cape, the redness. So something that's really weighing heavily on both heart and mind. You know, a focus here. So this is a deep decision then, or a deep situation that is directly yours. So this isn't you observing somebody else in your life. This is you being directly affected by a situation that's weighing heavily on your heart and mind right now. I am peeking down here as I had moved the cards up on the health quadrant, and I did point there originally in the intro. So it could be a health matter or a diagnosis weighing on your mind, or a lifestyle change in terms of your body, right? So that could be weighing on your mind. And it's a concern that you're bringing forward here into the next 3 months, or at least into September. I'm just gonna scoot the bowl of charms over so we have room for cards. Okay, so where are we gonna start with the charms here? I'm gonna start with the camp sign, which is kind of pointing over here. So we'll definitely connect these two, or they're definitely connected. So there's a promise to self. Maybe that's what's weighing on your heart and mind, because you made this promise to yourself, right? A promise to self could be like, I will get through this. I will, follow this protocol, this regimen. Maybe it's an exercise protocol that you want to get back to as it relates to your health, or an eating protocol, or we are heading into September, so sort of getting back to your fall routine, but it's a promise you made to yourself. So, and I keep equating it to like, what's it called? A New Year's resolution, right? You promised yourself next month you would start this. You promised yourself you would keep this positive mindset. You promised yourself you would not go backwards, right? You won't go back to that decision, whatever it is, because you're heading forward. So you have positive health, and so this is joy as well, because good health brings us happiness. So abundance, prosperity, all connected to it. And you have good favor here. You have good karma coming in. So what you put out, you're receiving, right? What goes around comes around in terms of health. So if you, like I said, if you promise yourself you'd get back to walking every day, you're going to get the positive output. So you will get, there is positive favor here for the effort that you're going to put in to realize or keep the promise to yourself. So they're jumping me up here to lifestyle changing, and there's abundance, wealth, nutrition that's available here to you, right? You kind of have to pick it. You got to reach out and pick it. So it must be connected to the promise to yourself. I was seeing prosperity and abundance down there. So simplification is like good times ahead, right? If you stick to what you promised yourself, because you know intuitively, right? The headspace. You've known this whole month of August, right? It's been weighing on you. If you just stick to your willpower, have the courage, there's good fortune, there's positive impact here to your current lifestyle. So we're just going to connect those three. Nice kind of beautiful triangle around this middle of charms. I wonder why your soul energies have done that. Because the triangle is like opportunities, right? It has not passed you by. It's going to come around again. So the opportunity to feel healthier, be wealthier, to have a happier, more joyful lifestyle, it's going to come around again. But in the next 3 months, it's here, right? We've got the triangle saying it's here. So let's see what cards do they want to associate with that. Triangle. 3 of Pentacles. Abundance, opportunities awaiting you. Look at you sneaking off with your good fortune, right? you're peeking back a little bit, right? Your promise to yourself, you're peeking back at that choice. And look at you following the camp sign though. You're walking straight ahead into this triangle, straight ahead from one opportunity to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. You're walking straight ahead to better health, better wealth. Then you go up to improvement in your lifestyle. Then you come back to your next promise to yourself, right? So another dream. So there's this powering up, right? It's starting to accelerate, starting to spin faster and move forward. The more you stick to what you told yourself you would do. Your promise to yourself. Okay. So let's see why this is in the middle. Because this is my clock charm. I read it as like a beautiful grandfather clock, and the angels are shining a light on the time is now. Happiness is around the corner, and it was snuggled closely here to the ability for your lifestyle to change. Is kind of on the tip here. So happiness is around the corner, right? The abundance is available, but it's the decision here of what's weighing on your heart that we saw here that's coming in from August. So I would say September, this beautiful orange, September, October at the latest. You need to follow through here. You got to make the decision to follow through with this promise to yourself, right? I will have the courage to. The triangle again. You don't want the opportunity here. It's in your favor to make this decision now and stick to it. They're drawing me up to the next step, which was connected a little bit, because it's the clause, a little bit to money or a big change. So it's not wealth. This is wealth and emotions. You can see here the blue. So just feeling better emotionally, right? In addition to physically. So mental health is better, or the big lifestyle change, right? The big change ahead is sort of the next step. But there is a little influence here kind of in your way. This kind of little negative crab here you need to kind of step over or sidestep. Take action against, right? If you're stepping over or sidestepping or turning around and walking away. So in like the world of gaming, this is kind of like like Mario Brothers. This is like the mushroom, right? That comes across. It can kill you, but all you have to do is like either jump over it or jump on it to squash it, right? And get some points. So it's not scary, right? It's a smiling little crab. So it's not something scary, but it is in your way, right? A little hiccup. That's your next step, is to overcome, sidestep, jump over, squash, whatever this is. And then you've got sort of the wealth, right? The decision here. What's weighing on your heart? How am I going to deal with this influence here? So let's see if we can get some insights on what maybe this influence is, if it's not coming readily to mind here. Okay, so 3 cards. Yeah, look at him. Look at the influence kind of like wrapped around you, holding on to you, holding on to your chest. Gemini. I feel like in your monthly readings, or maybe it's the general health readings, that I've been seeing sort of upper chest, throat issue areas in terms of health for this group. So that could just be referring back to that you're still dealing with that, but recovering through, right? The claws here are parting, right? The hands are drawing back. And look at the nice change in perspective here with the hangman, the beautiful glow, the halo around the head, which is completely opposite of the weight here, right? The weight on the head. Make the decision and look at the freedom of space in there. The joy, the happiness that kind of is emanating, right? The release of this. Right, the final stages of recovery of what you're releasing here off your shoulders, the weight off your shoulders and head again. So sort of upper body here. I'm coming back to the triangle that we started off with here, because you're knocking down 1, 2, 3. So like stage 1's knocked off. Here's that little step, right? The next step. You're about to knock it off very easily because you've already realized I can do this, right? I've completed the first stage and got through it. I have what it takes, right? You sort of have what it takes. You're changing perspective. I have what it takes. You're releasing it. You're letting go. And you're about to conquer that next step. And then you've got your uprights, right? They're not dug in like these two. So this is your welcoming party up here. This is your castle, right? The points of the castle waiting for you. So I feel like there's just one step to go here. You know, one final action, one final bout of courage here. Just trying to make sure I have room for all the other cards, but now I notice down here, you know what, maybe that card's connected somehow. So we'll leave it like that. So we have emotions interfering. And we already have that with the head, right? The head and the heart being connected here. It looks like there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of memories, a lot of reflecting back, a lot of time spent in the headspace as well. With this charm, there's just all these layers, right? All these fragile, gentle, delicate petals, all your delicate thoughts and memories and ideas. That's kind of occupying and running through your head right now. Maybe you're feeling absent-minded, or you're having moments of absent-mindedness, drifting in and out of sleep. Sensation comes with this. Maybe that's part of your recovery, is just whatever treatment you have. Maybe it's the medication, right? Kind of makes you foggy and then puts you out. Or there's sort of this waiting period, right? There's a lot of sitting, tiptoeing, like slow movement here. So you might be filling in that time with thoughts, a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts. So stuck in place and how you truly feel about something. Maybe it's this whole situation. We seem to be heavily focused on this. So the wine bottle on the shelf, this is a vague sense of direction, but not a finite plan. So you know you're heading in a direction, right? A promise to yourself. I know I want to start this, or I know I need to go this way, but there's freedom, flexibility, adaptability, slight changes, course correction, right? In order for you to figure out what needs to be done to knock down the next two. But they're bringing me into sort of the solid glass, sort of the firmness of the bottle and the stability of it on the shelf. So we're coming back to this. You have what it takes, right? The first message here in terms of the courage, the strength. You know, you might feel like you're stuck in place, and this is saying no, right? This charm is saying the opposite. No, you are heading in a direction. There just needs to be, you know, you probably feel like you're stuck because you are going this way, drifting, right? You're kind of drifting and adapting, but you're still always heading in the same direction. So you're correct in how you feel about it, and also incorrect in how you feel about it. You know, your lived situation has correctly played out the way you've perceived it, but it's always been in a progressive motion. And then there's this sense of being overwhelmed. Obviously, we've seen it in the first cards here. But like the barrel is kind of, for whatever reason, I'm seeing is overflowing here with the unsquished, right? Like they haven't gone through the whole process. I don't know why I'm blanking on the word of making wine, like the fermenting process, right? They haven't been through that process. It's just a barrel here of grapes. Let's see if I can get there we go. And the grapes are spilling out. Like this is ready to be processed and then some, right? The good karma to coming in. It's like good karma is, your barrel of good karma is not only full, but there's like, and then some. So recovery plus, you know, you've gone through this. So it's like this and more, the lifestyle change, the big change. When you get through this last step, what's kind of awaiting here for you? I don't think you think that's possible. Maybe that's why this card's here, right? The heavy weight on the shoulder, sort of the emotion, right? The fogginess. Again, you feel stuck in place, not that you're heading to a life that is equally as good, if not better than expectations, right? Dream come true, plus plus. And all it takes is keeping that promise to yourself. Okay, let's see, what are the cards here that they want? Okay. Yeah, the momentum you're not seeing. Well, the progress, right? I'll just start here. So I'm reading it as kind of either like the stairs, or like, you know, you mark, we humans, you know, we'll mark, and then we'll scratch like lines, and then we'll scratch out for every 5. You know, we're marking dates in the calendar, we're checking off milestones. But look at, they're all in a forward momentum, even if, right, the stuck in place where it felt like, oh, I've taken steps back. No, that was the redirection, you know, either in treatment or in situation, and then forward, and then stuck in place, and then forward. But there is this beautiful outcome still that they're showing at the end of the 3 months. When, right, again, if you start here, right, if you stick to your promise, you know, follow your intuition, there's healing, there's peace, there's recovery, whole body wellness waiting for you. There you are at those uprights. Remember I said the points was your welcoming committee? In the last reading, I read the card the same way, where I was seeing sort of this red carpet and the spotlight on you, people welcoming you back, right? You're kind of waving, hello. You're stepping back out, here I am. After you've gone through all this, which was not an easy feat, as we know from your other card. This was a heavy period. Heart and mind, heavy, that you had to carry forward. Maybe a lot solo, right? If it's your own personal health, there's only so much our supporters can do, but we have to take on the rest. For some reason, I know this isn't the depiction, but as soon as I saw him up here on the bench, I kind of read him like a jester. I read this kind of as like a musical instrument, and like a tambourine or a drum, and he's kind of parading down up and down the desk here, kind of celebrating. And it's pointing towards your throat and chest area again, right? In terms of the health. Oh yeah, this is here. right? So the celebration of the healing in this area, the spotlight on body and throat. So that's emotional health, right? Making sure we're voicing our needs or saying what we need to have. We're not holding it in. I like how it's shining down here in the healing, the white cloth. No, we're not done yet. I went to put it away and they're like, no, we're not done yet. They want me to focus here on, like, orange for me is creativity, like playfulness, strategy, and it's starting to fill this sort of overcoat, headdress up. So it's like a return to all of this that makes you happy, right, with the red. So return to your passion, return to your creative juices flowing after we just saw up here, right, the return to that better, happier headspace after the fogginess, right, the cloudiness. You know, you got through the treatment and you're flooding back here, your identity, your true self, your soul energy. You're on fire here, right? Red, orange, yellow, colors of flame right behind you, waiting to come in. So this beautiful, not only, like I said, healthier you, but and then some, right? You probably won't realize sort of the bounce back or the immediacy of you falling into or back to something you love doing. You're just really lit up again. It's really nice. But you know, when we feel ourselves, when we feel good, we are our best selves. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit of a poor word stumble there, but let's check back in next month and see this beautiful progress here. Let's see where you're at in keeping this promise to yourself.